Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Pascal Auguste, and I'm the Executive Director of Health Education, Prevention, and Promotion. We are a nonprofit organization right here in South Florida committed to reducing health disparities and just changing people's lives, saving people's lives through education, screening, and support. We are very excited about this collaboration with Old Dillard Foundation, bringing to you important health information. I'm very excited. I commend all of you who have joined us to listen, to learn, and to empower. Thank you. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and share a few slides with all of you. This is the organization, and I love this flyer. You know, breast cancer awareness matters. Um, it's really, really crucial, as we're going to find out as we get to this information. My name is Pascal Auguste, which I already introduced myself. Office is in Miami. I have a trivia question. So, October Breast Cancer Awareness Month started how many years ago? And we'll let you guys go in chats, go in Facebook, post, and we'll give you the answer a little bit later. But how long has it been since this October Breast Cancer Awareness Month started? So, a little bit about breast cancer and what we know now. Well, we know for sure breast cancer is the most common cancer in American women, second only to the less lethal skin cancers, right? We know that men have a 1 in 1,000 risk of developing breast cancer over his lifetime. I like to bring that up because we need to remember our men. We need to remind them to they too can get breast cancer. I want to talk a little bit about something that's going on. It's some new breast cancer screening guidelines. It's very important that we are just aware of it. So, what I'm showing is that the screening guidelines are set forth by about 8 or 9 different agencies in this country. Things like U.S. Preventative Service Task Force, American Cancer Society, American College of Radiology, American College of Physicians. And I've picked 2 of them to talk about a little bit of what's coming down the pipe and what is going on with this cancer screening guidelines. So pretty much the United States Preventative Service Task Force, which is part of the government, for the CDC, they are pretty much saying that you need to get screened beginning at the age of 50. They're saying that women 50 to 74 and are at average risk can get a mammogram every 2 years. Women 40 to 49 should talk to their doctor about when they should start, and women should weigh the benefits of screening tests before 50. American Cancer Society, they say now women between 40 and 44 have the option to start screening within a mammogram every year. Women 45 to 54 should get a mammogram every year. Women 55 and older can switch to getting a mammogram every other year, or they can choose to continue. And screening should continue as long as a woman is in good health and is expected to live at least 10 more years. And I bring that up only because I want people to know that these is the guidelines that eventually the doctors listen to. And these are the guidelines that eventually the insurance company listen to. And so we have to be empowered to know what we need and what is our risk. So, they're talking about if you're at average risk, are we at average risk? And so the next slide tells you women under 40 tend to get a more aggressive forms of cancer that are both harder to detect and receive less funding and research. Okay, so again, this is all about knowledge. This is all about, we need to know so that when we go to a doctor and they say, well, the new guideline is, it's 50. Well, what is our risk? We need to talk that. There's been some very positive developments in cancer treatments, okay? Treatments has become much more targeted. So right now, with the science, they know where the cancer is, they know which medicine, they go exactly to the spot where it is. So it's made the treatments much less toxic. much more effective. The recent medications and treatments results in fewer side effects than traditional chemotherapy. As a nurse, I can tell you, I remember, dealing with patients with chemotherapy, and it was rough. And now there's been a lot of changes and development and research. It's make it a little bit more tolerable, and because again they can specifically target the growth. And what I love the best is that now they are saying that the overall approach to cancer treatment has got to be more holistic and comprehensive. Okay, so these hospitals, they can't just treat cancer and send you home. They have to incorporate nutrition, they have to incorporate exercise, and they have to provide psychological support for the whole family. So again, we need to know this, so we know somebody with that. Well, did they give you a dietitian? Did they give you psychologists? This is all part of the treatment that these hospitals are getting reimbursed for. But despite these positive developments, breast cancer is still a killer. And I found this and I thought, wow, what an image, what a vision, and it's imagine an airplane with 115 people aboard falling from the sky every day. 115 people falling from the sky every day. And that's how many people die from metastatic breast cancer. And so metastatic breast cancer is a cancer that has already spread to your bones or to your organs. But I thought that was an important and a good kind of a visual to know. And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about disparities because with COVID, I remember that has come out, and again, I mean, this disparities almost makes me not be able to sleep sometimes. But let's talk a little bit about each of these facts. So it's especially important for Black, Asian, Hispanic women to start getting screened by at least 40 because they are more likely to have breast cancer early. Okay, so that makes you at high risk if you're Black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian. Okay, so remember that when the doctor says, well, the new guideline is 50, well, that's for the average person that's not at risk. Mortality rates from breast cancer have decreased in recent years due to increased emphasis on early detection and more effective treatments, but in the white population. That's a fact. And I'm glad there's been great improvement. We are not getting all the advantage from that. Third, although the mortality rates have declined in some ethnic populations, the overall cancer incidence among African American and Hispanic population continue to grow. Okay, this is 2020. Gap, the gap of breast cancer incidence is quite close now between Black women and white women. And some of us who've been doing outreach a long time, we used to always say, white women are getting cancer much more than Blacks. Blacks get breast cancer less, but we are dying more. Well, in 2020, that gap has gotten much closer. So we are almost as many of us as whites are getting breast cancer, and then our numbers of mortality, Black women are still 42% more likely to die from breast cancer. These are the disparities. We have to, it's here. Let's face it. You know, we got to face it. A considerable amount of breast cancer treatment research has been conducted, but with limited success for African Americans compared to other ethnic groups. And there's many reasons for that, but we need to be aware of that. Our mammography screening rates amongst American Indians and Alaskan Native women are lower than whites, blacks, and Asian Americans. So it's all minorities, these disparities. So our American Indian sisters, our Alaskan Native sisters, they have a disparity. They're not getting mammograms. And then really important, the uninsured women have lower rates of breast cancer screening and have more advanced breast cancer diagnosis compared to women with health insurance. Okay, so if we don't have insurance, what do? We don't get a mammogram. We don't go to the doctor. And by the time we get to the doctor, our diagnosis is advanced. So these are some of the disparities. Why are there racial and ethnic disparities? I'm sure there could be a whole day of conferencing about that. But what it is that racial and ethnicity disparities in breast cancer incidence and mortality rates, they really remain largely unknown. But we do know about some risk factors, which include socioeconomic status, late stage of breast cancer. Okay, we get to that doctor too late. And we're going to talk next about what we are to do, what we can ask, what we need to do. They are finding biologic and genetic differences in tumors. There's differential access to healthcare. Not all of us can get to the doctor due to many factors. And again, the issue of research. There's a lot of research going on and a whole lot of research money being spent. And we need to make sure that minorities are represented in this research. So people on here, people in Facebook, people watching, if you're in any kind of position of power, position of, um, whether it's in an academic setting or government setting, we need to begin to talk about our minorities representing our research because we know there might be differences. So, and it also means clinical trials. We need to also participate so that we can see what works and what doesn't work. So, it was a lot. I know it's not it was maybe not difficult, but it was important facts that I have. But we know now what we're facing, and let's hear now from our next presenter about what we can do, what we should do, what we need to ask. And that's it. That's all I have. Self empowerment. Let's hear it. Thank you.
Thank you, Pascal.